All right, let's talk NFL fantasy, some takeaways, what you need to do if your team is struggling. I'll just say this right now. This is my NFL team at the moment, 0-3. We have yet to crack 100 points in any of the 3 weeks. So if there's any, and I would love to see if there's any team as bad as this at the moment, because just look at this roster and tell me you aren't in pain as far as a team that's struggling. And I don't know what to do. And this is in the scenario where I'll give you some buy lows, potentially buy highs, sell highs on teams, and we'll have a later video talking about specific players on who to target. But dude, what is going on? Alvin Kamara can't do anything. DJ Moore, my God, DJ Moore is just a shell of himself. That whole offense is terrible. CMC as well. And then, don't even get me started. CeeDee Lamb with that entire offense there in freaking Dallas, struggling. Kyle Pitts man is showing everybody. Let's go. Kyle Pitts is back. I don't know. DK Metcalf got a touchdown finally. It is just, I don't know what to say. And I clueless on what to do. But let me give you some ideas, especially in my scenario, because in your 0-3, 4 teams only making the playoffs in a 10-team league, potentially you're even a 12-team league, you're in dire need to get some wins. Maybe this is even a scenario where, hey, we're just not trying to get last place and get the big punishment, which I'm also wouldn't blame you for. But hey, here at Pinpointer, we're always trying to go for the win, always trying to get back into the playoffs, always in for the hunt. We never give up. So let's talk about it. 5 teams that I'm all in to buy on. I'm going to give you the list right here. I'm in, and especially these are a lot of buy lows for teams. Indianapolis, buying. Cincinnati Bengals, buying. Buying Tampa Bay. Buying San Francisco as well. And last but not least, I am also buying in on the Baltimore Ravens. 5 teams right there for you. Players to target from those teams. All offenses that are still decent. And take a look at this. Indianapolis Colts have been struggling for 3 weeks in a row. Finally got a win against the Kansas City Chiefs. But remember, they got Michael Pittman, a good receiver. They have the best running back in the league, realistically. Young, strength. Their offensive line is decently good too. Matt Ryan has been the key issue, potentially. But again, this is a new system. His 3rd game in. You don't expect, he isn't a Tom Brady where he can just go into Tampa like he did 2-3 years ago and bring him to the Super Bowl with automatic success. Tom Brady, in the first 8 games of that season, before it was the bye week, the team was 4-3, 3-4. They were awful. They were struggling. People were like writing them out. They weren't going to make anything, and they flipped that switch off the bye week. And so especially with an old quarterback in these 2 scenarios, Matt Ryan, people say he's fallen off. Maybe the case, but you have to give him time to learn the system, learn the players around him, learn the coaching staff. This offense will be fine. Trust it. Buy low potentials all around there. Similarly, also in Tampa, Brady's struggling. The offense is struggling. They can't get touchdowns at all. Mike Evans suspended. Chris Godwin hurt. The volume and everything is still there. Russell Gage had over 10 catches with a late touchdown at the end of it to win it. Mike Evans is going to get targets and get his touches. Chris Godwin is the only questionable thing. If you want to potentially buy low there, if he stays healthy, he's going to be wide receiver too. He was, again, a top 15 receiver last year along with Mike Evans. So remember that before he got injured, that he is still a viable option. Julio, don't trust him. They still got a lot of pieces. I know they signed Cole Beasley, Russell Gage. That's the issue. They have a lot of pieces, and maybe sometimes it spreads it out too much. But the offense is still a buy. The team is still great. They're not going anywhere. Same with Cincinnati. Guys, even though if T. Higgins continues to get injured and they continuously struggle, you have Jamar Chase, Tyler Boyd, T. Higgins if healthy, Joe Mixon. This team is one of the best. They got to the Super Bowl for a reason. Joe Burrow is that guy. Joey B is that guy. So remember, I wouldn't give up on this team yet. The division is weak. Browns currently struggling. Steelers aren't the best. Ravens are a good team. They have the offensive power. And listen to this. Regardless if the offense may not be as good. Let's say, as an example, what some haters say. You're playing Baltimore, who's a high-scoring team every week. That means they're going to have to continue that trend along every time they play against Baltimore Ravens. High-scoring games. Steelers is the only exception. The Browns, especially when, Deshaun Watson comes back, those games are going to be high-scoring. Those are two elite teams, two elite offenses. So give me a break if you're going to sell on Joe Mixon and you're going to sell on Jamar Chase, who's been struggling. Oh, my God, there are reasons why there are top 5 guys on both positions. They will be just fine. They just have to find the answer and find the rhythm at the moment. They will be fine, ladies and gents. And another team I wanted to name, the 49ers. I talked about this last week. The 49ers are still a bye. Jimmy G's back, struggled this week. Sunday night game. A lot of Sunday night games sometimes aren't huge offensive, potent attacks. Both defenses are really good, especially for both these teams. But again, you've got Kittle, Debo, and Ayuk. Running game isn't there. They have Mitchell's out. They have no real running backs. Jeff Wilson Sr. is not that guy. So when you're telling me that this offense can't do anything, well, what were they last year? Top 10 offense. What was Debo Samuel last year? A top 3 receiver. What was Kittle? Top 5 tight end when healthy. I mean, hello? Brandon Ayuk last 6 weeks was one of the top targeted receivers in the league. So give me a break if this offense is struggling and you're not going to buy into this. Please, Jimmy G is still the same quarterback. He will be fine. Dinks and dunks well, can push the ball downfield. And if he heavily relies on the running game and it's not there, I still think he'll be just fine. This offense with Kyle Shanahan, I mean, they're going to design amazing things. They'll be just fine. And a couple sell teams here. I'm selling Green Bay and I'm selling Vegas. I don't like what I'm seeing. From Green Bay's aspect, I mean, I guess if the only guys you have are the running backs, it's still very up and down. A.J. Dillon and Aaron Jones, if I'm... maybe you sell high in Aaron Jones. Maybe if you can get somebody better, if you need a receiver, he's the guy to sell. A.J. Dillon's there. He takes carries. Aaron Jones is very up and down. First week struggled, second week bomb. This is the same thing that happened last year. And you guys have to realize this. Every 3 weeks would be Aaron Jones. Fantastic game, 40 points, 10, 10, 10. 45-point bomb, 5, 6, 8. And then another 35-point game from Jones. He's everywhere. He's catching anything. And then another 3-4 straight weeks of terrible games. So it just happens. It's how the Packers work. I'm not sure. They like to target specific players each game. Today it was Romeo Doubs having a great game. Next week it'll be A.J. Dillon pounding the rock. It's similar to Bill Belichick's system. It's not going to be the same every week. And then Las Vegas. I mean, Las Vegas is a mess. Similarly with the Cardinals, which I'm also kind of skeptical on. Their offense is just more high-powered. I mean, I thought Derek Carr almost threw for 5,000 yards last season. He's doing nothing. Struggling. Devontae had a great first week. Now, not so much. Darren Waller in and out. And it begs the question of how much do you trust this offense? He had 44 attempts, barely got 50%, threw a pick. Mac Hollins all of a sudden was a top guy with 10 targets, eight receptions for 160 yards. Adams didn't even get to 40. Waller didn't even get to 20. Hunter Renfer was one of the best slot receivers last year. Didn't play today, hasn't done anything all year. I mean, this offense is just ugly. Josh Jacobs, you're not starting ever. Hell no. And if you do, you're just really that down bad in running back situation. Foster Moreau, the fullback, had the second most yards in this offense. And you're playing Tennessee, who got blown away by Buffalo and struggled the week before that. And all of a sudden, the 0-3 Raiders can't generate any offense in this beautiful, high-powered Josh McDaniels formed offense. I mean, sell. And if you've got one of those guys, I don't know, Adams, if you can get a top RB, another top receiver, I'm all in for that. And if you still think he's going to get all the targets, well, hey, I would rather have a more consistent guy than what the Raiders are providing. And then check out buy low, sell highs on specific players. I'll be listing this week because me and you need to fix our teams badly.
I think I'm in love, say it way too often. I can't play these games, think I'm switching up the offense. See me in LA, I be moving cautious, I can feel no pain.